Hi everyone, welcome to PAMANA's fourth production. If you've ever been to our shows here in the past, you know that PAMANA really likes to break the mold. In our previous shows, we've always incorporated a story. Usually it's a love story where two characters fall in love, and the storyline usually helps to enhance the significance of our Philippine folk dances. But this time around, we decided to take a different approach. We decided to let you into our world, into PAMANA's universe. Everything is real, everything is about us, and we wanted to show you what it's like to be part of our group. So, let me show you.
Welcome to our practice hall. This is at 2390 Ride in Point St. Charles, which is actually very far from the Filipino community, but we're here in collaboration with the Polish community. We've been here for the last 4 years now, since 2009. Before this, we were actually rehearsing anywhere where we can find space, in people's backyards, in their garages, in random dance studios here and there, as well as the aerobics room in a gym. We're lucky to have this space, but our ultimate goal and our big dream is to get our own space, a PAMANA building, which could serve as not only a rehearsal space, but also a storage facility for our many costumes and instruments. Hopefully included in that building as well will be a library where we can store and display our various documents and artifacts that we've been able to collect throughout our years of cultural work.
Sige na, because we're doing ano naman eh, Britney Spears, di ba? So why not actually do that?
Ikaw lang kasi ako yung sa
Warm-up is a very important part of PAMANA. We use it as a way of developing and maintaining PAMANA's style of movement. Our warm-up incorporates a lot of movements that are used in our Maria Clara and rural suites. So you have stuff like the waltz, the sway balance, the mincing, etc. The dancers are arranged in vertical lines facing the mirror on purpose. Another function of our warm-up is basically getting everyone synchronized. So by arranging the dancers in this formation, we can very clearly see all of the limbs, from the hands and the feet, so that we can correct anybody that is not in sync. The warm-up was taught to us by Tita Cecil Hernandez, who was our artistic advisor at the time when we were founded.
PAMANA's dancers and musicians travel from all parts of Montreal and surrounding suburbs to dedicate a few hours of their time each Sunday to learn new dances, to rehearse, and to see their friends. But sometimes they have to dedicate even more time for performances and extra rehearsals and for meetings. But they do it all for the love of the culture and the group. So I asked some of the dancers to tell us why they love being part of PAMANA.
PAMANA is like a second family to me. They're people I can easily depend on, people I can run to, and people I can call up when I want to hang out with them, like go out to eat or go watch a movie.
PAMANA is not only great on a social aspect, but on developing skills as well. Skills such as public speaking. When I was younger, it was actually hard for me to do oral presentations. I would be very scared to do an oral presentation in front of the whole class. So because I've been performing with PAMANA for so long, it actually helped build my self-esteem and my self-confidence to perform in front of others.
What I liked about PAMANA the most was the atmosphere of the group when I joined. Before in hockey, as a new player to the team, you really felt isolated and other players didn't really pay attention to you. Well, as in PAMANA, when you were new, people really tried to help you out and they wanted you to catch up to what you were doing, kind of like a family welcoming you to their own home.
Throughout my years in PAMANA, I've learned several different things. The biggest one being how to keep calm and collected despite all the pressure and despite being nervous and anxious. Another lesson that I've learned through PAMANA is what it means to be a mentor and to be an example and how to lead by example. Simply because our dancers, they're young, but they're not so much younger than us, Vera and I. By us. They're not so much younger than us, so there's still that element of, yes, we're leaders, but we're more like big sisters. So by being the big sister, we need to lead by example and, practice what you preach kind of thing. A third lesson that I've learned from PAMANA is just about the Filipino culture in general. The Philippines is one of the most diverse cultures as a result of the different waves of colonization that we've had to endure, as well as the geography of the Philippine Islands. It leads to a lot of diversity in the cultures and a lot of diversity in the expressions of culture.
The parents are an integral part of PAMANA's success. They are our solid foundation. They help fix and prepare costumes, props, and accessories, drive our dancers and musicians to performances, even as far as Sherbrooke, Ottawa, or Toronto. They help us fundraise, and we are very thankful to them for preparing us delicious food all the time. We can always count on them whenever we need them, and will always be grateful for their hard work and dedication to PAMANA.
Supporting them is one of the priority as a parents, not only because you're a parents, also I love doing it. Voluntary job is a job that you have to know it, you have to love it. In order to know it, loving it comes naturally. I do the volunteer job because I love it, and also it is our obligation for the kids to guide them. Who knows, maybe later on, mommy do that or the daddy do that, I could do that too. So we're passing not only the legacy from the Philippines, but also giving them responsibility later on in their life.
Break time is always a fun time for our performers. After spending at least a couple of hours rehearsing or learning new dances, the performers get to take a 30-minute break. This is a time when they get together to eat the gastronomic delicacies prepared by the parents, chat, gossip, and play a game of sock sports, while the parents stand by and watch them have fun. PAMANA's break time has become an important part in strengthening our group's bond. It enhances the quality of life and demonstrates our fun side. Who knew a bunch of socks rolled into a ball can be so much fun? It helps keep the energy up for the remaining hours of practice. Traveling is one of PAMANA's favorite perks. We've made new friends across Canada, in Vancouver, Edmonton, and Toronto. In 2008, the entire group, all 60 performers and parents, traveled to the Philippines to be trained in folk dance and music. And this summer, 28 members will be representing Canada and the Philippines once again in international festivals in Spain and Portugal. Out of all the trips that we've done so far, there is one in particular that made a first and lasting impression on our members.
Europe 2010.
Europe 2010.
Europe 2010.
My best memory of Europe 2010 was during our last performance in Straznice, Czech Republic. I remember performing in front of 6,000 people, and we were dancing our single set. When the princess came in, everyone was just quiet and everyone was in awe. All they heard was the bamboos clapping, the kulintang playing, and by the end of the dance, we had a huge standing ovation. It was just amazing.
So what I love about going to Europe or traveling abroad is the fact that you're exposed to different cultures. And I'm sure we've also displayed our culture to some of the people at the festival. what in Cordillera, what we wear in our dances are bahags, and that's essentially just a loincloth that's covering your body, and so you're practically like half naked, like everything's exposed. And in Slovenia, when we were doing a parade, this girl, she like ran up to me and she's like screaming like, "Your butt is like the biggest butt I've ever seen!" And she like quickly like she took a picture and she like ran off. So you know, there's a picture of my butt circulating the internet somewhere, and you know, I'm okay with that.
This is our Rondalia group, completely homegrown and hand-selected from within our membership. It's the first of its kind here in Quebec. The technical skill that's required in order to play Maria Clara dances and rural dances is actually quite high and very demanding. As a result, it's actually very difficult for us to bring our Spanish-influenced dances and rural dances with us whenever we travel anywhere. Simply because we don't have a musical group at the moment that can back it up, despite all of our costumes and all of our props. Luckily, we've been able to come under the mentorship of Tito Ray Ardiente, who is based in Toronto and who is the ex-lead musician for Bayanihan, the national dance company of the Philippines. He is currently working with our musical group, trying to bring it up to the level that we need it to be. It's still a work in progress though, but we hope that in the near future we will be able to have a high-level musical group with us.
While sharing and promoting our Philippine culture, we've learned so much about ourselves and about each other, and how important it is to pass on our culture from one generation to another. We've taught discipline, responsibility, self-confidence, and humility, and we built PAMANA with an atmosphere of family and friendship. But we must also remember that we wouldn't be where we are today without having a little fun along the way.